Over the last 1,000 to 2,000 episodes, what is the best stuff he's done? The worst stuff he's done is the mistakes that he's done, things that have gone right, and the best advice. In no particular order. Mike, take it away.
Thank you. So Ryan and I have a course where we talk about the 10 rules of podcasting. And then there's plenty of shows that are much, much bigger than ours have ever been that break every rule we have. But I think if you're just getting into a show, here's things you need to keep in mind. And one, even the big show should keep in mind. And start with people are listening. That's rule number one. Remember that people are listening. So this is a product, even if it's a passion thing like ours is, it's just a hobby. We love nerdy stuff. But in theory, people will be listening. Remember to be entertaining. Remember to be informative. Don't be what we make up a lot of dumb words. Don't be a backyardigan, which is suddenly out of nowhere in the middle of your show, you're telling a story that your fellow podcaster knows, but your listeners have never heard about your neighbor, George, and you don't give enough background information. It makes no sense. You're bringing to mix the podcast world and the real world slammed together with no on-ramp can get very jarring for listeners. So it's just remember you have an audience and you're so lucky to have an audience. So you want to do right by them and create the kind of show that will keep them coming back. Another piece of advice is, and this helped me in my real life, but we try to remember is yes and, which is like the first rule of improv. If you're making up a scene with a partner, never say no, but build with them. Yes and I think this works in all conversations. Instead of trying to tear somebody apart and be like, oh, what does that mean? Like you can ask them for clarification, but do you know what I mean? There's so many people I think we've lost the skill of how to just have a good, solid, in-depth conversation, which is the beauty of podcasts, right? And so just yes and your partner if they're building stuff. And again, ours, we lean improvisory. We make up a lot of stuff. And so instead of being like, that's not your mom's name, it's like, yeah, man, I don't want to say my real mom's name on the show right now. So I'm going with this story and maybe it's Dash is my real mom and maybe it's a character I'm creating. The other one I would say is don't be pedantic because now I'm just going to stay with conversations. Actually, if you got to correct your guest or your co-host, there's a way to be not a dick about it. And then... Wait,
was I a dick when I corrected you today?
No.
Have I done that? Are you saying this because of me? Because
I haven't written any of these down. I'm just like, what has Adam done for the last 40 minutes?
Yeah. What are all the mistakes Adam's making so we can kind of, first and foremost, I had never heard pedantic.
Pedantic.
I'm pedantic. I'm looking it up. And what is it? Many of these essays are long, dense, too pedantic to hold great appeal. What does that mean anyways?
Pedantic is like the person who is trying to
annoys others by correcting small errors. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Found it.
I think I write in my professional job and I don't care about what's technically correct. And like, I'm a poet is your meaning coming across? And so there's somebody who might try to nitpick your sentence. It's like, but you understood what I was saying, right? Can we just move on? Especially I talk very fast. My tongue tends to be faster than my brain. I'll get confused and flip words and make up phrases, but we all know the emotional beat that I'm trying to hit. Let's move on instead of defining everything. This isn't a dig at you. We should define pedantic.
Heard. Well, I found it and now I got it. Emphasizing my own expertise, especially to narrow, boring subject matter. So it's just like wasting time trying to prove random things.
The person at the cocktail party who's like, when I was at Yale, this is how the dean always, and you're like, who is this? This is for you. You're just self-inflating your ego.